Hi guys, Hard here again, and today we're going to have another graphics tutorial. And this tutorial is going to be on how to make orbs with Photoshop. Now, orbs can be used for loads of different things. Whole web layouts are based on orbs. You could use them as avatars, icons on forums, new posts, that kind of thing. You can use small ones for member ranks on forums. So yeah, they're basically really useful. So we're going to start off, just got a blank document here. I'm going to make quite a large one to make sure everyone can see it. So we're going to start off with a circle here. Now what you want to do is we want to create another circle inside that one. So we're going to duplicate the layer, and we're going to click the transform tool here, so it opens up the transform tools. Hit the corner of it. Now we're going to hold shift. This constrains the proportions of the resizing, and we're just going to resize it down a bit and just move it into the middle. Just going to flick it down a bit more so we have a nice border on it, and hit OK. Now we've got a circle within a circle. We're going to start work on this background circle. So first thing we're going to do is going to make it grey, but we're going to give it a gradient of grey. So we're going to start about here, just a little bit lighter. We don't want to give it a stroke, because when I found when I'm using orbs, stroke just looks tacky around the edges, you can see there. So instead we're just gonna drop shadow, 0 distance, drop the opacity down a bit, and just spread it out a bit more, so it's just makes it stand out a little bit more. And then we just want to play around with the bevel here. Tiniest bit of depth there, we've got it on 41, and just want to play with the gradient. On the bevel we've just got the tiniest bit, we've got a 41 depth, 5 size, but the softens up at the max. So it's just giving it that little bit of 3D around the edge. Now with this one, this circle on top, this is going to be inside of our orb. What we're going to do is we're going to make a green orb today. So we're just going to, same as we did last time with the grey, but with green. I would tend to do opposite gradients. So on the grey gradient we've got dark at the top and light at the bottom, so we're gonna do the opposite of that. Just a gradient code on there. So this is now we have we'll flick a drop shadow on there. No, we won't. We're gonna flick an inner shadow. Just gonna distance to 2. Just gonna up the size and choke a little bit there. I've got a 13 choke, 14 size, 24 size. So it's just making it look a bit inside, like it's actually inside the grey container. Got the opacity on 50% roughly. So here's our basic orb, but we're not done with this yet. We're gonna merge these two layers together now. No, we're not actually. We're not going to merge them. I'm sorry, I forgot a step there. Once again, hard fucks up. What we're going to do is we're going to make another circle. Going to make a white one. I'm going to put it about there, just so it's sitting on top of everything. Now we want to hit the paintbrush, just hit anywhere around that layer, and it's going to ask you if you want to rasterize it, and you're going to hit OK. Now we're going to take the magic wand tool. We're going to click the green layer, the green circle layer, and we're going to rasterize this layer as well. Now what we're going to magic wand it, and we're just going to select the whole circle. So now if we go to this layer again now, the white circle we've got on top, we can now cut the bit that's inside our shape. So we want to do that. Then we want to take the eraser and erase the rest of the circle, and hold Control, press V, paste it back in. Now we just have the bit from inside the circle. Now what we're going to do with this, just going to flick the opacity down about 11%, and what it's done is just creating a glossy effect there. Now this would easily do as a nice orb. We're gonna group all the layers together, flick the size down a bit, and 30/30, you can see that on a forum that'd be a nice icon to have. But when I'm using orbs, I tend to do a high-tech kind of design, so we're gonna put this up here. Now on a high-tech design, you normally have wires, so we're gonna add some wire effects in here, just some basic wires, nothing too fancy. My next tutorial will probably be how to make some really high-tech fancy wires, but for now this will just be a basic one. So we want to create a new layer. We want to take the pen tool. We want to make sure we are making this option here, the paths. We want to make a path, not a shape of it. So start by clicking here and just dragging it around, and just click it down to here and just spin it around and change how you want it. If you want to change it, by adding a new anchor into a path, you can click and hold Alt, and you can see we're adding some new anchors in. We can change how the wire looks. Now this is quite a wiry shape. Now we want to go to the brush tool and put the brush back to the 3 pixel hard brush. Make sure your default color is black as well. We're gonna, on the layers panel here, your paths panel should be there as well. If it's not, go to Windows and make sure paths is open here. So we want to stroke this path, and we want to make sure it's stroking it with the brush tool. And once that's done, delete the path, and you can see that it's just stroked it with our 3 pixel hard brush. Now this doesn't look very wire-like, so we want to blend in options. We'll give it a colour overlay. We'll make it a nice green wire to match our green design. But we want to add a bevel into it. Just play around with the settings. You probably won't be able to see what I'm doing, but adding quite a high depth and softening it about halfway creates a nice effect. It just makes it look a bit more 3D, a bit more wire-like. Now it looks like it's just sticking out here of the orb, so we want to create a new layer here, and we want to zoom in a bit onto here so we can get a nice view on it. We want to add a new circle. We want to make sure we go back to make a shape here, because otherwise it's going to make a path, and we don't want to make a path. So made a little shape here. Blending options. We want to give it a colour overlay of the same colour that it's got going on here in a border. Now we want to give it an inner shadow. The distance is going to be a 1, and that should about do it there. So if we look, it looks like it's now coming out of the inside of the orb. Now we can duplicate this layer here, move it to say there, duplicate this layer, and obviously you can make a different shape wire so it looks more unique, but here we have a high-tech orb with some quick easy wires, perfect for a high-tech web layout or a forum layout or anything. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the tutorial. Hope you could understand it all. My link to my free graphics service where I take requests is in the description below the video, and plenty more tutorials coming, so don't forget to subscribe, and I'd actually love to see what you guys can create with it. So if you want to just drop me a comment with a link to any images you've made. Yeah, I enjoy seeing them. So happy photoshopping, guys.